Welcome to another marvelous episode of College Football Showdown. I am the governor of college football, and with me, as always, is my co-pilot Jalen Wilson. Jalen, week 7, we're starting to slowly see who's real, who's not. Ole Miss really let me down, bro. I mean, in a game in which I felt like they dominated, but they just kind of let them hang around. And when you're in Death Valley at Tiger
Yeah,
Stadium, you just cannot do that.
can I be
And
honest? I tuned most of that game out.
did you? Did you?
Yeah,
It
'cause I
was
was
a lot
watching
of
the
good
Ohio State Oregon
games.
game.
Yeah, it was a lot of good games during that time period. My guy D Now in the building. Shout out to D Now. Jalen just gave you a huge shout out in the green room, D Now. He said he loves the Overreaction Monday episodes when you're on it. So I think that's pretty cool. So
Brandon KT.
huh?
I say Brandon KT.
That yeah, he is. That was fantabulous, man. So this past week was crazy. Before we get to this episode, we've officially launched College Basketball Nation. We were down at ACC Media Days last week. That's why you guys didn't get a Thursday episode. You guys will definitely get a Thursday episode this week. And then we went to an HBCU game on Saturday. My guy Moon is still in 2 up, 2 down. He's here now. We went to go see Virginia Union versus Elizabeth City State University. And if anybody from here is an Elizabeth City State University fan, don't even cover your ears. I'm about to be real honest. That was some of the worst coaching, worst football, worst discipline that I've seen in a very long time. And I'm going to send an athletic director a message to tell him they need to have a change. It was terrible, bro. It's 3rd and 18. Quarterback, they throw a tunnel screen. Quarterback comes off to the sideline, tells the offensive coordinator, yo, no more tunnel screen, no more screens. Like, bro, you ain't did nothing, bro. The plays he called correctly, there's players wide open, and you want to like, bro, he's trying to make moves, like not looking downfield. It was
Yo, as a
horrible.
quarterback, you trying to beat Tavon
It
Austin.
is, yeah, it's horrible football. This Thursday, we are credentialed for Virginia Tech and Boston College. We're also credentialed for Marshall versus Georgia State. And we have this illustrious plan where we may be going to Huntington, West Virginia for the first time, and then heading up to Cincinnati, Ohio, because we were also credentialed for Cincinnati and Arizona State this year. And I really want to see Arizona State play.
Is West Virginia biased like Cincinnati?
Yeah, it's so Huntington, West Virginia is closer to Ohio than it's closer to me because
Oh,
it just because of its locale.
yeah.
So
Oh,
yeah, we're definitely going to be. Yes, since he finally changed their tune, Moon was actually able to get them to change their tune. Jalen, I feel like you had something funny to say with my Elizabeth City rant.
damn, what was I finna
Yes,
ask?
sir. And your neck of the woods. Yes,
Oh yeah,
sir.
oh yeah. I was about to ask, was Elizabeth the one that you were like, they got 12 men on the field? Like you said that during the video. He was like, they got 12 men on the field, and like they just didn't notice or something like that.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
them. Like it's just little. They made me angry, bro. Like, and I was so interested to see what was going on in their sidelines. Granted, we're always on the field, right? Actually, shout out to D Now too. D Now will be going to one of the meccas of college football. He'll be going to South Bend, Indiana, and seeing Notre Dame. I told Moon and I told Mike this, and they laughed at me, but that's probably one of the stadiums. Like, if I'm walking around campus and I get to go into the stadium, tears going to come out of my eyes, bro. That's just one of the meccas. So shout out to him to be able to get that. But yeah, bro, it was embarrassing. So it was so bad that we actually left the field and sat in the bleachers directly behind the players. Oh, it's at Yankee Stadium. I didn't know that, bro. I thought it was in South Bend, but that's a hell of a credential to get
Yankee
anyway.
Stadium.
Yeah,
Where's that?
yeah. I think is it Notre Dame and Army maybe? I think this is the game. Maybe they're
But
having.
well, where's Yankee Stadium? Is that is? Cause I'm
It's
thinking of
in,
Yankees, New York. Like,
yeah. New York. Yeah, it's in New York. So
oh,
Shamrock game. That makes sense. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. So yeah, so we went and we sat in the bleachers on the front row directly behind the players and coaches. And what I seen, bro, I'm telling you, if I was a head coach there, I'm taking them to the heart of DC. We're going to South Capitol Street, Southeast, and we're going to have our camps at Ballou High School. I'm sorry, at Anacostia High School. And then I'm going to make them run around inside of the city, they're gonna learn discipline one way or another. You think you gangster? Let me take you to somewhere that's gangster. It was a mockery, bro. It was a mockery. Like the coaches had to talk to these kids like they were 5 years old, massage their egos. Like you losing 35-0. There is no egos. It was bad, bro. But anyway,
I wonder how you react to that LSU locker room video that was not getting great receptions online.
I didn't see it. I didn't see it. What happened?
It was Kyron Lacey again, I think.
Was it?
Yeah,
he was going crazy. I mean, that was a big one for them in a game that I truly believe that Ole Miss gave away. But that's why you got to finish out games. So this episode's gonna be a little bit different. Typically, we deep dive recaps. We give our takeaways for the recaps. This episode, I want to take a different approach. It's been a week since I talked to Jalen. Typically, he and I do 2 episodes a week.
But we've talked. We just,
we talk, but it's been more recaps. Here, I want to kind of say, okay, we're at week 7, week 8. We almost kind of the halfway point because most teams still have an idol left. Every team typically has 2 idols during the year. So I think this is a good point to say, you know what? We're going to do some instant recaps. Jalen going to definitely be able to, talk his talk. But then we're going to look at each of the Power 4 conferences and kind of look at the landscape of where their standings are now and where they can possibly be in the future. So that's kind of the landscape of this episode. So Oregon defeats Ohio State 32-31. Jalen, on this one, take as much time as you need. It's not a rapid fire, just more so your thoughts. And I think you said something really profound. If you don't mind sharing the text that we had the other day where we go ahead.
Yeah. I watching the game. First of all, Will Howard, what the heck are you doing? We was talking about Nico's awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Will Howard did us. We my dad screamed like we didn't scream. We like, what the heck are you doing? Like it's funny. I said run the ball anyways. I just was thinking, hey, run the ball and tell your running back to get down. Like run the ball, get a yard.
You know what entered my head during that time?
What?
I said, tell me what's really going on. It entered my head for a million of reasons because I'm like,
were you
miss me a little when I'm gone, bro. They had a guy that was a big time quarterback. You played with him, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know. I feel like Ohio State fans thought they were getting somebody better.
Wait, they had a guy in who?
What'd you say?
They had a guy in who? Ohio State. You said they had a guy?
Yeah, they had a guy. They treated him like crap. He's at Syracuse right now. You think Will Howard's better than him?
I'm not saying he's better than him right now, but Kyle McCord in Ohio State jersey was not that good.
Would you be good? Would you be good in the way that you were treated? Would you be good? Who would be good? Hey, he not said they need to be playing Julian saying. I'm just saying, if we flash back to the moment Ohio State got Will Howard, a lot of their fan base thought this guy was going to be, and he hasn't played bad this year. Let's just say that he had a bad moment. He hasn't played bad this year.
Yeah, he has played pretty solid.
I don't know. I feel like Kyle McCord, if they had trusted him, given him all the tools and given him the keys.
They gave him the keys, and he was still.
How did they give him the keys, Jalen? When coaches were still deliberating on if he should be the guy.
KT, later on, they gave him the keys.
He
won the position, and then they gave him the keys.
Did he win the battle?
You're the starter.
Did he win the battle? So you think Will Howard is an upgrade over Kyle McCord?
Right now, I'm not too sure.
At that moment, you thought, okay, that was an upgrade. Okay,
yeah, we're talking about at the end of last season. I would think Will Howard was an upgrade for Kyle McCord.
Okay, let me ask you this: Why did Will Howard leave Kansas State?
I'm not too sure. I want to say because he was maybe scared of Avery Johnson.
Oh, it was 100% Avery Johnson, bro. Like, if you're the guy, like, I don't care who this talent is behind me. You know what I'm saying? You the guy. But anyway, continue your takeaways. You started, your first takeaway was he kneeled. And I saw a bunch of Ohio State fans on Twitter posting like his knee almost at the ground. And it was pretty much there. And then like 1 second left. on the
It
clock.
don't matter, Ryan. They would have had to call a timeout like
Yeah,
perfectly timed.
it's a bang. Yeah, it was such a bang play, bro.
Like he was down at 1 second,
Mm,
but Ryan Day would have had been right next to the coach and been
mm.
like time or the ref and be like
Right. Yeah,
timeout.
I know what you meant.
And I don't know where Ryan Day was on the field,
Mm-hmm.
but I can guarantee you that he wasn't expecting freaking Will Howard to run the ball. he so if he wasn't by the ref, it's because he wasn't expecting Will Howard to run the ball and take off. Like, but yeah. So I just came away from the game. I'm like, I don't like even if that game was to happen again in Austin and Columbus and a neutral site, I'm choosing Ohio State still.
So you saying it's one of those things they played 10 times. You think Ohio State will win 7 times.
Yeah.
That was just one of the 3 games that Oregon will win. And that was something that we said during when we messaged one another that you thought no matter where the game was. I said it too. I said neutral site, I think Ohio State will win the game. But certainly at Austin, can we talk about the Trayshawn Holden thing?
Yeah, that was nasty.
There's a couple things you can do that I'll be like, like I'd be like, oh wow, that's some sucker-ish. You feel me?
Yeah.
But then there's some things like you can't come back from in my mind. Spitting on somebody is blatantly spitting on somebody and then losing your cool, while you're in the locker room slamming your helmet and crying. It's too late for all of that. Why would you spit in somebody's face? Like if I use Oregon on College Football 25, Buddy is gonna be like at the number 8 wide receiver. I'm gonna make sure you don't check into the game, bro. Like is that personal for me, bro? Like that's just nasty. You gonna spit in somebody's face? And all the years, granted, I haven't played football. I didn't play football as long as these do, but I played football for about 8 years. I never once thought about spitting in somebody's face. Have I tackled somebody, giving them an extra elbow, while they're on the ground? Absolutely. I think I played dirty with Grace. We didn't call them what they call them a hip drop tackle now that people say illegal. We did those back in the day.
We did those 2 years. People did those last year. People did those last year.
Yeah, we
didn't
even know
this year. They don't call it.
We didn't know what it was, but to just sit there and blatantly spit in somebody's face, bro. Like I'm not sure if he's been suspended. I haven't heard any updates.
I haven't really heard any update again.
I mean, the referees threw him out of the game. That shouldn't count as a game from the university. He still needs to be penalized from the university. Like the refs made the right decision in throwing him out the game, but the university needs to be penalized by the university. But continue with your takeaways from that game, Jalen.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think Ohio State is still.
You still you think they're the cream of the crop?
Yeah, or outside Texas.
I'm sorry, in the big conference.
Yeah,
and we'll deliberate a little bit on it. You know who had some buy-in with me this week?
Who?
Drew Allen and Penn State Nittany Lions.
Oh yeah. You did say that.
They had a lot of buy-in. And the reason they had a buy-in because I think that this team is built to play with the lead. I think their running game.
Yeah, because the running
game
play
good defense. Good. I think they're just built to play with the lead.
They might have the best tight end in all college.
Yeah. Oh yeah. From what I seen this past weekend, I think was USC up like 14 at one point.
I don't know.
I believe they were up 14, and to see like Penn State, and Penn State isn't like a juggernaut, offensively, but to see them lock in and compete and be able to, fight to stay in that game. Penn State got a lot of buy-in. Now, with some people, it's like, oh, you beat USC by 3 points. Penn State has never been a program to beat people with a lot of style points.
Yeah, I was but yeah, that's all I was thinking. Like, I was just like, I'm not sure Ohio State isn't better than Oregon. Like, I think maybe Ohio State's still better than Oregon. And I said that to Steve, and he was like, "Yeah, you're not crazy for thinking that." Like, but yeah, I was just
Brian P. Brown and East Coast bias doesn't apply to just rap, apparently.
I don't know what that most. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm guessing he's an Oregon fan.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh no, but yeah. I mean, I ain't saying Oregon suck, buddy, but just saying I don't think y'all better than Ohio State.
We're not saying that at all.
Yeah.
Boise. He's a Boise State fan.
Oh,
yeah. We've covered Boise State quite often on.
Yeah, shout out to Ashton Genty, Heisman Trophy front runner. Um, or at least he should
Yeah,
be. But yeah, this game honestly,
yeah. I mean, hey, I didn't know what you were talking about. You said East Coast bias doesn't apply to just rap. Apparently, no. Uh, we're talking about assumptions. You assume that we've never talked about Boise State. This is like episode 78. We've talked about Boise State plenty in the off season. Where a lot of people disappeared on when there isn't any college football to watch. We definitely talked about Boise State a ton. But get back to your takeaways.
and this was like a back and forth game when it came to scoring.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I didn't think Ohio State was going to get down the field that final drive, simply
Okay.
because if you look at the game, Oregon was getting them in like 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6s, 3rd and 4s throughout the game, especially in that second half.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was like that final, the second to last drive. Ohio State had to complete a couple of third downs. Like I want to say it was like 3 or 4. Even times in the first half where they had to convert. I believe it was a draw. They had to convert like 2 fourth downs. So yeah, I was just like, I was just like, I think I think Ohio State was going to score that final drive, but I thought the game was over after Oregon kicked the field goal. Will Stein called a great game. I thought. Dylan Gabriel played a good game outside.
Was that the first game where, like, we seen like Evan Stewart and Tej Johnson both have really good games and not one or the other?
Yeah. Cause that was the game that was like the first game that you saw the offense outside that Oregon State game that you saw the offense like really clicking, like without a doubt. Another takeaway: Ohio State fans are crybabies. I promise you, they're crybabies.
Yeah, and that's something we've talked about on this show. We talked about kind of the EQ, like the emotional quotation of fans in the South versus the emotional quotation of fans like in the Midwest and on the East Coast, and how it's very emotional after a loss. We always say no more victories, but I think that's about as more as you. So what were some of the stuff you were saying after the game as far as with the emotional part?
They were just like, oh, Jim Knowles deserved to get fired. Ryan Day is overrated.
Yeah, they've been saying that for so long, bro.
Yeah.
Well, not with the Jim Knowles, but with Ryan Day, they've been saying that for a while.
Denzel Burke get kicked off the team. What else? They was crying about the defense. But mainly it was about Ryan Day. It was Ryan Day and like Jim Knowles. And I was like, do I think Ryan Day is like a third base guy that, can't get it done? Somewhat. Do I think Jim Knowles is a bad defensive coordinator? No. I think Oregon's a good team and they have a good offense. And that night they had a better offense than y'all. Or they may at least I don't know. Oregon might have made more mistakes than Ohio State, but Ohio State just didn't capitalize. Because they had a missed PAT or a muff PAT. They had a missed field goal, and they had a play where Dylan Gabriel didn't even look Ted Johnson away. Like the play was drawn up for Ted Johnson. I called my daddy in the front room to make sure Ted Johnson like goes across the he like he's in motion, so he goes across the screen and everything. And it was supposed to be a pick play. So he go across the slot receiver, and he's supposed to catch the ball on the outside of the pylon and just turn around, score. Dylan Gabriel, for some reason, didn't look his way. And it's like, I was like, I ain't tripping. That play drew up for Ted Johnson. Like, that's a pick play. It was an easy touchdown.
Right, and he just missed it. Yeah, Ohio State did have.
And that was a turnover on downs.
What is it? Was it like an onside? Would you call that like an intentional onside kick that Oregon was able to recover? So that was kind of one of the few missed assignments that Ohio State had.
It was also the Will Howard botched. He botched a snap, so that was also a mistake. But
so Brian, the Boise State fan, he said that he said a couple things. He said every football podcast talks exclusively about the SEC and the Big Ten. I'll give you that. The disrespect and dismissive nature of each program shows the bias is real. So I think maybe there's a Power 4 bias versus a Group of 5 bias.
I can tell you why it's that way.
Yeah. Go ahead. Expound.
It's just money and interactions. It's like money and interactions. Like Hey, I'm wrong, but Boise State fans my support. But if you talk about even the higher ups like ESPN, Fox, if they talk about Alabama, Georgia,
Yeah,
Ohio
it's
State,
it's
they're
it's
bound to get more interaction. They're bound to get more more revenue from those teams.
yeah.
Which is the
So
reason why
so
it
we're gonna.
sucks. Like if we want to talk about Ashton Jeanty right now, I mean,
Oh, he said Boise State is better than 85% of any teams in any Power Four conference. That is not true. That you're a fan, but I want to show you something real quick. I'm credentialed season long at Liberty. That's a group of 5 team. Here's my Conference USA credential as well. Um, Now, Boise State is better than 85% of any teams in a Power Four conference. So 85%. How many teams are in Power Four? Is that roughly 66?
a lot.
That's a lot. So you said 85% will be what? Maybe like 51 teams that they're better than?
Are they better? I don't think that's over. I don't think that's a crazy statement.
You don't think that's a crazy statement?
Like
Okay.
I think it's like I definitely think it's a hot take, but I don't think it's like
You don't
oh
think it's a
my
crazy
gosh.
statement, but
Yeah.
you don't think it's a hot take. So you're closer on the side with Brian P. Browning, right? So right now,
Well, I'm just saying if we do the math, potentially, but then you factor in the Big Ten teams, like I think they better than Indiana. Like I don't think Indiana's all that great.
I know you said you believe that Indiana was a fraud. You said you believe a couple teams was a fraud. Let me just throw a couple teams out there that we don't consider top 13 teams.
Okay.
Neutral site will Boise State beat Syracuse?
I don't think so, but I'm not saying that's not a possibility. Like I can see a world where
you're saying it's not it could be a possibility.
Yeah. Like
Neutral site would Boise State beat BYU?
No, I think they have a better chance against Syracuse.
You think they have a better chance against Syracuse? Neutral site will Boise State beat Kansas State?
Yes.
Based on the BYU game, is that your yes?
I just feel like sometimes Kansas State come out wishy-washy sometimes.
Okay. That's really interesting. So I'm just trying to name some middle tier teams. Neutral site, LSU's in the top 13, right? Neutral
so. They might be like
neutral site would Boise State beat Ole Miss?
No.
Boise State, I will say this. I think Boise State is the best G5 team. I will say that.
Yeah.
I will say that I believe that Boise State should be in the college football playoff. I'm confident saying
I don't think they beat Iowa State. I don't think they beat...
Yeah, there's quite a handful of because there's some like you even look at neutral site. We haven't been impressed with like neutral site. Would they beat a team like South Carolina who's been scrappy this year?
I think they can, honestly. South Carolina been also one of
UNLV. Brian had a great take. UNLV took the Syracuse to the very end. That's true. And watch what Boise State does to UNLV. I think style makes fights, though, Brian. I don't think the way I watch college football, I can't say, oh, this team can blow this team out. This team styles make fights. You guys are really physical. Syracuse, I don't deem as a physical team much at all. So I think styles make fights. What I will say about Boise State is this: I do think that they're the best G5 team right now, and this is coming from somebody who sees quite a lot of Liberty games. Liberty just hasn't looked the same this year. I'm not sure what's going on. Yes, they have 17 or 18 straight regular season wins. I'm just not sure what's going on with the program right now.
I think y'all can beat Mizzou.
Huh?
I think they can beat Mizzou.
You think they could beat Mizzou?
Wisconsin 4-2. I think they beat Wisconsin.
Can they beat Boston College?
Yeah.
You sure about that?
I'm sure they can. Like, I'm not saying they will, but I'm
okay. You okay? So we're not talking in absolutes. We're just talking.
Yeah. Wisconsin's an absolute. I don't KT. I don't care about Wisconsin, but they 4-2 for our record.
So you think that for us, but let's get back to the show. Brian, I do appreciate the commentary. we always love talking to people, but trust me, if you hang out with us, follow us in the off season, we talk all levels of football. I go to every week I'm at games. I've been to FCS games, I've been to HBCU games, I've been to P4 games, and I've been to G5 games. I just love the sport overall. Let's get into the second game. Jalen, Penn State defeats USC 33-30 in OT.
Penn State isn't better than Ohio State. I will say that.
Mm-hmm.
Out the rankings, I put Ohio State number 3.
Okay.
Honestly, I won't be mad keeping Ohio State.
I think you and I have been consistent in saying we don't like the large movement that the AP poll has, because you're not going to see it when the college football playoff poll comes around. There's not a lot of movement.
Yeah, USC is slowly turning into the team that we kind of thought they were.
Liberty ain't never been as good as Boise State. Liberty was certainly the best G5 team last year. They're not the best G5 team this year, though.
Yeah, I can't wait. With that game, like USC is slowly turning into the USC we probably thought they were. Like,
I disagree. I don't agree with that statement, Jalen. Let's be honest.
I know why.
Let's be honest. Before the season started, right? What were we saying on this show?
That basically they were a soft cupcake team that couldn't handle physicality.
Could they adjust? We thought they would come in here and get punched in the face, and there will be a lack of physicality overall. Mm-hmm. I don't think that they're their team. I think they've made the adjustment. Now, if USC finished the year 7-6, I think I don't like 7-6. If they finish at 7-5, in your opinion, and in Nino's opinion, that's a bad year for USC. In a changeover year, that's a bad year.
That's a bad year. And I get the whole physicality thing. They don't get their physicality, but it's like
I think they're building blocks, bro. I truly do, bro.
Are they really building? And
I think so.
Is it brick or is it the little plastic bricks?
Oh, okay. No, it's not brick quite yet. You know what I'm saying? But have they shown that they can be more physical? Are they allowing teams to score a whole bunch of points? No. I think they're playing better, and they'll get there.
And I don't know.
Liberty schedule was cupcake last year. 100%.
It was crazy cupcake schedule.
Man, and it's been cupcake this year, but they do have a real test against JMU. And I will say this: JMU is the one team you guys might got to worry about in Boise State, because JMU has looked really good this year.
Yeah, I don't know how much I trust them without if their defensive coordinator gets hired somewhere.
Okay,
I'm like because I feel like that defensive coordinator, I don't know why I forget his name. He's Dan Anton Lynn, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. If he ends up getting like a head coaching job or even an upgrade as a DC, like a let's say Alabama would be like, hey, USC is this prestigious school, but we're Alabama, we're better than them historically.
For sure.
We offer you this money, we offer you this upgrade of a position. So
USC is still in the Pac-12 from a mentality standpoint. You agree with that?
Not fully. Some aspects, yeah, but not.
Because because in Pac-12, first to 50 in a lot of them games, man. First to 40. Has USC scored over?
Personally, I would say no, just based off the fact, just based off the defense coordinator that they went out and got this all season, the way the defense, like they play more of a. They prepare for more of a physical style and the Big Ten this offseason.
Before we move on to the next segment, because I'm sure you got some stuff to say about that. SC, what do you think about your Ducks, man? What do you think about your Ducks? I love that you did a Friday episode this past week. I can't wait to see what you do with the next episode. But what you think about the Ducks? Just admit that they have adjusted to the physicality and playing that way. Wow. I think that's a good take, and I think that's what Jalen was along the lines of as well. I think it's like expectations versus reality, right? You ever hear people hype a movie, you go see the movie, it's mid, right? But it's mid because of the expectations people have placed upon you, right? Like, what's a movie that's just overhyped and you watched it?
The movie got really hyped up recently, and people really have seen it and been like, "Oh, this movie's terrible. it's trash. Like one of the worst movies they saw. Don't know if it's good.
Brian
I
P.
haven't
Brown
saw
and
it.
I agree. I think they're better than what their record indicates.
But
So
the new Joker movie has been hyped up in this.
I
People are
heard it's
literally
a
tweeting it out.
musical or something, bro.
It's not as much of a musical as people would say, but there is some musical in there.
Ducks equal
From
growth.
what I've heard.
That's a nutshell. Landing in the coaching staff for just doing just that coaching, bro. You know what I thought was some of the best scenes in college football this past week? Kenny Dillingham, after Arizona State's huge win versus Utah, Dan Lanning, like these younger coaches, and me and Nino said this a long time ago. College football is like no country for old men. Like the sport is getting increasingly younger. Just to see the reactions that these coaches have after the games, bro, that childlike, like Dan Lanning and the coaching staff pushing each other, Kenny Dillingham partying with the fans. He said, I was just like these fans. Like it was incredible. Each week they watch the tape and adjust accordingly. I like that. I like that a lot. So Illinois defeats Purdue 50-49. What happened, bro? Talk to me. You were in Champaign this week. Talk to me, bro.
Yeah, so of course I was at the game. We was up 27-3. I was feeling myself. I'm like, man, we winning. Like, man, me and my family might head out start the fourth quarter because it's over. Like, we get a couple stops. We literally didn't get no stop in the second half. Like,
Browning
I don't think
is
we
heating
forced
up. I like what he said. Yes, yo, Boise State showed me a lot in that game. Yeah, he said, dude. He said the Ducks could very easily be a 2-loss team.
They could. Ohio State's still better, by the way, than Oregon. Not Boise State, than Oregon. Yeah, I was just like, oh yeah, my family we might leave for beginning of fourth quarter.
Yeah, you beat traffic at home.
Yeah,
it's a
beat
good
traffic.
feeling.
Yeah, my dad's birthday. We plan to go on Chili's after.
Happy belated to Pops, man. I didn't know it was Pops' birthday, man.
Yeah, his birthday's actually Friday, so.
Okay.
But yeah, we supposed to go to
his
Chili's
is the
after.
day before my brother's. My brother's was on Saturday, man. So happy birthday to both of them.
Yeah. So yeah, happy birthday to your brother as well.
Appreciate it. I let him
know. And we was gonna go to Chili's after. We were like, oh yeah, come along. They come back in the third quarter. I'm like, okay.
Are you guys watching the game at Chili's?
Yes.
I can only imagine the agony of trying to eat your food and celebrate your pop's birthday and looking at the TV. Like, bro, I would.
We was at the game. Like, we was at the game.
Okay. But you guys left, right? When did
you
last?
We left after we went up 40-28 with like four something remaining. We're like, well, this game is over.
Right.
Illinois defense has been just finna get stopped, and we're finna, So we was like, we might just head out. We walked back to the car. Illinois is down 41-40. I'm like, what the heck happened?
What just happened?
Yeah.
Right.
And at that point, I'm like, okay, game over is what it is. We suck. We're overrated. We ain't gonna be ranked.
Right.
We get to Chili's. Well, eventually we start driving. 43-43. I'm like, okay, so it's OT. You let the Illinois group chat stat on me and tell it. The game was over. Game was over when we was down 41-40. Like, I just saw a collapse. I'm like, oh, okay, damn, we lost. Wow. I'm like, man, we just made ESPN for the wrong moment. We just put Atlanta Falcons 27-3. Like, okay. Yeah, so get back. We get to Chili's, and that's where like it's OT kind of started. And then I was like, I asked work, I was like, hey, can I sit at the bar and finish watching the game? She was like, yeah, go ahead. So I was like, oh, okay. Because it was gonna be a 30-minute wait anyway, because everybody was leaving the game. Like, everybody left at the same time we basically left. So everybody was like leaving the game and started to get packed and everything. So we had to like wait 30 minutes. I was like, okay. Yeah, so I think the Illinois scored, then we got to stop. I was like, thank you. Because I did not want to be
you watched the game. I give you a lot of credit. I'm the type of person, when we have a lead and we blow it, you heard of the term of like camera blocking. Like, actors have to be able to do it. That's why a lot of times actors are looking so intently into one another's eyes, because it's a camera right here in their face, right? So to me, I'd have been eating my food, like, and if the TV's right here, I'm talking to I'm not looking at the television, bro, because I'd have been so upset just by the collapse. You feel me?
If I was at the game, I would have been throwing a fit. I was like, man, like I would have been talking to this fan right next to me, like, man, the coaching staff suck. We need to fire
Right.
so and so,
Yeah.
so and so, and
Hey,
so and
bro, I'm
so.
sure it was a meltdown in the group chat, meltdown in the stands. I do want to say something that has nothing to do with college football. To that Ravens fan who went out there and picked a
Oh,
fight with some Commander fans for no good reason, bro, you deserve to lose your job, bro. I know that don't got nothing to do with your job. I don't
yeah, I
care
saw
if you was lit,
that. Yeah.
bro. Them people, I Jayla, I don't know. I can tell when people want to fight and don't want to fight. So I have never in my life like attempted to fight somebody. If I see that they don't want to fight, I'm not going to
Yeah.
fight them, bro. It just is what it is. I've never walked in my life. These two dudes, when somebody goes like this and their hands is up, bro, I don't know, bro.
Yeah.
But he's lame for that,
Yeah.
and
But
he better pray they never catch him in DC because they're gonna whoop you. You know what? And that's why Baltimore isn't a part of the DMV. I said what I said.
although the DMV does stand for DC,
DC,
Maryland,
Maryland, and
Virginia.
Virginia. I know.
uh, yeah. So, but I mean, some of my takeaways was just the fact that Illinois defensive frauds.
We got a good sparring match going on in the comment section too right now.
Listen, KT, I've been with Illinois defense kind of fraudulent. I won't hit Aaron Henry out.
Mm.
Ryan Watson is going to get fired after this upcoming week, and I want him back. I want him back.
Really?
Yeah. Or we need to go out and get a new DC. Somebody with some actual experience. Because Brett Bielema, just because you hire a little buddy person, I don't like it. Bart Miller, offensive line coach, needs to get fired. He sucks.
Wow.
Offensive run blocking doesn't exist in our system. Maybe that's some of the running backs we have. I don't know. But run blocking just does not work with us. Pass blocking works. Luke Altmaier is the real deal.
I was just about to say, Luke Altmaier, my opinion of him, like almost like a total like you know what I'm saying, 180 versus my opinion on him last year. Like, dude has really come to perform this year. How many years of eligibility does he have left?
I think he has two
more?
One more?
Does he stay?
I don't know.
Does that scare some of the fans in your group chat that he may not stay?
I don't think it does right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going not until the time is kind of almost there.
Okay.
When it's gonna be like, okay, yeah, is he gonna stay? Because that's the same way it was with DeVito. Although everybody knew DeVito only had a year left. He only had that year and he was done. But I don't know, because we got Carson Boyd coming in. He's quarterback, if I'm not mistaken, for St. Louis. We got Trey Petty. He's a quarterback from Mississippi, 3-star. He's already on the team. We have Leary. So it's not like we don't have quarterbacks behind them. It's just that we don't know what we have behind them. So yeah.
Would they get afraid if he does stay? Because you're looking at him. You're looking at his lineage. Trey
Petty might. Trey Petty might. Because I know he's been recruited by Mississippi State also.
College football now is continuous recruiting. Yeah, you may get a recruit for a season, but it's continued recruiting. Hey, we still have a plan for you. Like, Garrett Nussmeier could have easily left. But he stayed the course because he knew he'd have his moment, and he's operating in that moment. And speaking of which, I think he may make a Kenny Pickett style jump. Like, I was thinking, okay, maybe he might, 2026 class, he might be the guy or one of the guys, right? But for the 2025 NFL draft, as I started to look at these quarterbacks, why not Garrett Nussmeier? How you feel about that?
I'm not mad about that. Do you think people overvalue mobility in a quarterback now?
Yes, it's certain. Well, at least in our sport. At least in our sport, it is. It is. But I don't think there's a throw that he cannot make, bro. Like, and it's rare for me to say that about a kid at the collegiate level, bro. I didn't want to like the kid, but I really like the kid a lot. Probably more than I had anticipated.
Yeah, I'm just curious. Yeah, that's about it. I mean, Purdue, Ron Walters, you're probably getting fired after next week. Actually, I will lean more on that side of getting fired after next week.
So are they going to take the Indiana approach and go get the next hot shot G5 guy? like
Potentially.
Indiana did with Kirk Signetti, and I know you think Indiana are frauds, but
They are. Weak schedule. Oh my gosh, weak schedule.
let's move along. Um, we spoke about LSU a little bit, but they defeated Ole Miss 29-26. Um, I wasn't very happy with Ole Miss performance in this game. I thought if you watch the game, at least most of the game, Ole Miss controlled the game from early on,
They did. They
and I
did.
just think they had opportunity. And you saw Lane Kiffin in a presser, and he was so upset, bro. He was just like we had the game,
But this is Ole Miss. This is what Ole Miss does, though.
yeah,
They
yeah.
always start off
And this is
hot,
what you
and
said,
they
and this
drop a
is
couple games.
yeah, this is what your thought process was. You said, while I see the talent on paper, I just can't give them that title. Uh, I think this may be the best finish we see in SEC in a very long time. Uh,
Really?
I think so. I think so. If you look
For
at it,
second
right?
place?
What?
The best SEC, the best finish in SEC we've seen in a
Yeah,
long time?
best finish in the SEC in a very long time. You said for
Oh,
second
wait,
place?
wait. Oh, wait. You talking about this game?
No. I'm talking about the conference in totality. I
Yeah, for
think
second place.
for first or second, Texas can lose this weekend. You know that, right?
I don't think they're losing. I don't think
Huh?
they're losing. I don't think they're losing.
What's going on in the car? Yeah, that. Wow, you don't got Texas losing at all.
No, they might drop a game. I don't know, but I don't
Wow,
think they're losing. Like
wow.
I think they
You know,
beat Georgia.
I can't say too much because I'm a Texas hater. But give me your rapid fire for this LSU Ole Miss game. What you got to say?
I was skeptical on LSU even after the first couple games, but I was just this game I came way impressed because it was like they I don't know if they ever led that game outside of the win. Like I don't think they ever led. I think Ole Miss had the first lead of the game and it was 3-0, and I think Ole Miss went up like 10-0. Yeah, LSU is a real team. Ole Miss, I think, is also a real team. They're just one of those teams that you just expect to come up short every time.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm starting to feel that way. That Kentucky game is going to truly come back to get them. But I mean, at this point, Texas is 6-0. Texas A&M is 5-1. You know what?
Oh, by the way, Pete Golden might have turned the corner. I'm not trusting it all the way.
Okay. Brian Browning is hilarious. Just so you know, Brian, SC Ramiro is with College Football Nation. He's actually credentialed at Oregon. I just want to let you know that. Kansas State.
Oh wait! You said Brian Browning isn't credential. You meant SC.
Yeah, I was talking to him though.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Kansas State defeats Colorado on a thriller 31-28. What you got to say about that?
Not surprised. Hey, did you see how bad Charlotte did on Saturday? That man got shook not once but twice.
Yeah.
One of them made it hit him. One of them he hit the ground.
Yeah.
He had a bad angle. He missed a couple tackles.
You saw what Coach Prime said about Shiloh?
He played terrible, although he did keep him out there.
Yeah. I think that's an excellent comeback. He played terrible, but you had to know there would be some. There'll be some rust. He hasn't played in a few weeks, but this is what makes me think, right? When I think about this game, I think about the future of
also
Colorado football. Horn was hurt, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hunter was hurt.
Mm-hmm.
If Hunter, Horn, and Shador and Shiloh leave this year, what's next? Dion isn't an elite recruiter out of high school. He does recruit well in a portal boat. What is next for him?
Yeah, because I saw some fans talk about how their offensive line is not going to be good next year. They already can't stop the run. Like I saw somebody say, "Oh man, as soon as Shiloh come back, the defense looked terrible." I'm like, Did you not say defense before that? Like, hey, I get you. They stopped UCF. Good. Baylor torched them boys from like what 41.
Yeah, they did.
Like I think Charlotte got hurt either that game or the game before.
Yeah, it was a game before. The interesting thing is, you think when Colorado goes down to score, right? Raucous environment, and the touchdown that they gave was just so bad, bro. It was terrible. So I don't know what's next for Colorado, nor do I know what's next for Dion, but they're paying better than what I expected this year, though. Would you agree with that? Yeah. My expectations were very low for Colorado heading into the season. Jalen, we are
start thinking it up.
Running super over on time, so I'm gonna speed it up with this next segment. Let's look into each of the Power Four conferences, and let's see where the conference is currently at. So you think Texas wins out? Texas wins the SEC, both outright in the regular season and the conference championship.
Yeah.
Confident you've seen enough.
Yeah.
You said something about Alabama that I disagree with a week ago, but I agree with now.
Yeah, I'm not surprised you agree with it now. Thankfully, you see it. Thankfully, those junk goggles are off.
Can I say this?
Yeah.
Do we have a Nick Sheridan, Jalen Milroe problem? Do we have a Kalen DeBoer, Jalen Milroe problem? Would Ryan Grubb have been the better solution at offensive coordinator than Nick Sheridan?
I think so.
Something isn't right, bro. Just something isn't right. And I don't want to take anything away from South Carolina, how well they played, how well they fought. South Carolina is just a few games removed from being, they could possibly be undefeated this year.
I honestly just don't think Alabama has the talent on the outside that wowed you that they normally used to have. Even with Ryan Williams. The offensive line is better than last season, but I don't think it's
it's not amazing. What we expected, and that's when we get into the expectations versus reality. Yeah. It's not what we expected coming into the season. We thought that, hey, this is probably one of the best offensive lines in the country, but they're 100% over underwhelming.
And hey, I know I turned the corner on Jalen Milroe, but I still stand. Me and Brad, we had this back and forth before last season started about Jalen Milroe, and I didn't believe in Jalen Milroe.
No, you are a Ty Simpson guy, right?
Yeah, I was a Ty Simpson guy, and I still remember saying that you're not winning a national championship with Jalen Milroe, and I still believe that.
You still believe that?
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about the conference. And this is in ranking of who's played the most games and who has the best conference record. Texas A&M 5-1 overall. Texas is 6-0. LSU is 5-1. Georgia 5-1. Alabama 5-1. Tennessee 5-1. I don't like Tennessee.
So, man, Tennessee
I like Arkansas more than I like Tennessee. I'm starting to like Arkansas a lot more than a lot of other teams. I tell you that. Vanderbilt is 4-2. Really great play game for them the other day. Missouri is 5-1. We both believe. We just don't believe the hype. Ole Miss is 5-2, but I think they're dangerous still at 5-2. Oklahoma is 4-2. I think we've seen enough of them this year. Florida 3-3. That was a bad loss, bro. South Carolina is 3-3. Kentucky is 3-3. Auburn is 2-4. Mississippi State is 1-5. Mississippi State in that Georgia game was misleading, but Mississippi State gave them a run for their money for the better part of 45 minutes of that game. So, how you feeling about the overall landscape of the SEC? I know you think Texas is going to win the conference, but how many teams are they going to get into the dance? That's what I want to know.
So, Texas play Alabama, don't they?
Yeah. And matter of fact, I don't think it matters. Pulled up. Texas schedule. Actually, no, I don't think they play Alabama. I think Georgia was the toughest game they have remaining.
Georgia?
They play Georgia then Vandy. They're home against Georgia and at Vandy. I think those are two very tough games. And they play Florida. That Arkansas game, I'm not giving nobody a win versus Arkansas. I ain't saying Arkansas is going to win. I'm just not giving them a win. I'm sure you'll give them a win. I ain't giving nobody a win against them dudes. Them dudes are scrappy and they play nasty. They play Kentucky and then they play Texas A&M. So you just think they'll run the table the rest of the way?
Yeah, I don't see why they couldn't.
Okay.
I mean, they not Ole Miss. You know that. I don't think they're gonna lose to Kentucky. So,
That bird, bro.
Texas, Georgia, Alabama for sure gets in.
3 teams.
Yes.
You don't think they get a fourth in?
Texas A&M could possibly be
being that just depending on how well Connor
15.
Wegman kind of played good in the last game that I seen him play in, which thoroughly surprised me. But
Yeah.
Texas A&M is on a 5-game winning streak. Texas has looked really good. Red River rivalry or Red River Showdown. I don't know if you've seen any of that on Twitter this week when a lot of people was like, "Hey man, I remember when it was actually called the Red River Showdown and not the Red River Rivalry." I don't know if you I don't know if you've seen any of that.
I honestly didn't know it was called the Showdown. I thought that was a new name for it or something. I thought somebody say it.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I know is the Red River Rivalry.
So LSU, why not LSU?
Oh, I was actually gonna say that LSU could I could see LSU possibly finishing over Texas A&M actually.
LSU has played a pretty decent strength of schedule so far this season, in my estimation. So they play Arkansas next. Yeah, LSU's schedule has been brutal, bro. They play Arkansas next. They play Texas A&M. They play Alabama, Florida, Vandy, and then Oklahoma. So you feel like LSU could, if the SEC got a 4th team, you feel like it could be LSU.
Yeah.
And Tennessee, you're out on.
Yes.
Ole Miss, you're out on.
I was kind of never in on them.
What about Vandy? Remember we had the discussion last week if Vandy would be bowl eligible.
They're cute, KT. They're cute.
Will they be bowl eligible?
Well, yeah, they'll be bowl eligible.
Okay. I had that discussion on Overreaction Monday last week. I believe Nino said they wouldn't be bowl eligible, or maybe it was Dino. One of them said they wouldn't be bowl eligible, but I think they will be bowl eligible. So that's the SEC. Jalen has Texas coming out of it as the best team. I don't know who I have. I think Texas could win the regular season, but who will win the conference championship to get that much needed first round bye heading into the playoffs? I'm not sure. I'm not sure it's them.
Crazy enough, Ole Miss not out of it.
No, they're not. Not at all. Let's move on. Let's talk Big Ten ball next. At the very top of it, we got Indiana, who's 6-0, Oregon, who's 6-0, Penn State, who's 6-0, Illinois, who's 5-1, Ohio State, who's 5-1, Nebraska, who's 5-1, Iowa scoring 40 points. Where did that come from, bro? Who's 4-2? Michigan, who's 4-2, Wisconsin, who's 4-2. Wow, this is impressive. Minnesota 4-3, Washington 4-3, Rutgers 4-2. They look terrible the last 2 weeks. Michigan State 3-3, Northwestern 3-3, USC 3-3, Maryland 3-3. They got whooped this past week. Purdue is 1-5, UCLA 1-5. Who wins this conference outright? Who wins the championship to get that much coveted first round?
Oregon wins the conference outright now. Okay. They because I don't know if you look at the schedule. Purdue, then it's Illinois. They work in Illinois. If we upset them all, I'll be the most likely person in the world. After that, it's of course, Washington's the last game. They kind of got a weak schedule. They got a weak schedule for the rest of the season. I don't think it's anything to worry about. As far as I thought, Illinois potentially upsetting them, or Washington just pulling something out they, just out of the hat. I don't think they have nothing to worry about. I think Oregon wins the regular season outright. I think Ohio State wins the conference championship if they beat Penn State. If Oregon faces Penn State in the conference championship, Oregon works Penn State.
I got Penn State winning the conference outright.
Wow.
They won't win a championship, but I got them winning the conference outright. Oregon got some games that scare me.
KT, they don't have no games coming up though.
They got some games that scare me, and you gonna be like, KT, you're smoking.
You are.
They got some games that scare me. Now, I know people are going to get upset when I mention Illinois because Illinois just got 49 points put on them. But I don't know which Dylan Gabriel we get, right? And then the Michigan game.
Hopefully it's the bad one.
It sounds funny. That Michigan game is another game to watch. I know.
I think Illinois beats Michigan.
Me and Michigan. But Penn State, I think Penn State will win the conference outright, though I don't think they win a championship. But I think they'll get Ohio State this year. I've seen enough with Penn State. I've seen enough. So who you got in the conference championship?
For Penn State still got to face Ohio State.
They do. I got them beat Ohio State. Yo, Saturday show me that this team can play from behind. That they can't get behind against Ohio State. But yeah, I got Penn State winning the conference outright.
What was the other question?
Who's in your conference championship? Penn State versus Oregon conference championship. I would enjoy that. But I think Jalen said he thinks Oregon will beat the smack out of Penn State. Is that what you said?
Yeah. Oregon.
Shout out to my guy World the Moon, man.
Oregon's definitely a guaranteed. Oregon's a lock. Then it's between Ohio State and Penn State. Okay. If Illinois was to somehow beat Oregon, somehow Illinois can do it.
You know why I can't say Ohio State is probably going to make the conference championship?
Why?
Because you got undefeated Indiana, but they're playing tougher games. Illinois is still 5-1. Nebraska's 5-1. I was still in the thick of things. I don't think Ohio State beats Michigan. Bro, they're cursed, bro.
Get to your trolling.
I'm not trolling. I mean it, bro. I mean it. Like, they have to show me that they can beat this thing, bro.
KT.
They're cursed, bro.
KT.
I promise you they're cursed, bro.
Michigan shouldn't be ranked right now. Let's be honest. Like,
they're ranked?
Yes, they're ranked.
They shouldn't be ranked. I agree with you. There.
So why do you think they can beat Ohio State? I don't understand.
Can Ohio State show me that they can beat Michigan? That is the question, bro.
Yes, they can.
If fans are calling for Ryan Day's job after a 1-point loss in Austin Stadium, can you imagine what the media is going to be like heading into this game, no matter what Michigan record is? Can you imagine? Penn State will win the Big Ten outright.
KT, what Ohio State has showed you that they can beat Oregon in the games this season. Michigan had not. I mean, Ohio State has showed you that they can beat Michigan in the games this season.
Yeah, for
Michigan
sure.
has not showed me that they can beat Ohio State in the games this season.
Agreed. Agree. Hey, I'm watching Ohio State, bro. Ohio State is on the clock, bro. Things are getting hot in Columbus. Will Howard, you are on the clock. Ryan Day, you're on the clock. I am ready for chaos. I'm ready for chaos. Let's move along. But Maryland, the shellacking that Northwestern put on you in College Park this weekend, you should be.
Oh, by the way, Indiana are frauds. Indiana will lose this week to Nebraska. Then they'll lose to Ohio State. And then we'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, this is really unranked.
Yeah, man. Let's talk ACC ball. Clemson has looked really good, bro. Cade Klubnik has looked really good. I mean really good. Garrett Riley is cooking. So let's go down to ACC. Clemson 5-1 overall. Miami 6-0. 6-0. Miami 6-0. Oh, they're 4-2. Is Miami 6-0 or 4-2? I guess that record says 6-0.
They're 4-2, and I'll be honest.
Okay.
Pitt, I'd rather have Ole Miss be undefeated than Miami.
Pitt back?
Pitt. I think so.
6-0 to beat Cal. I hear that 3 gentlemen from CFB Nation will be at SMU and Pitt's game, Thursday night game on August 24th. That's what I heard. That we're going to Pitt and we're going to see Pitt play SMU. SMU has been red hot as well. We will be at that game. SMU 5-1. Syracuse is 5-1. A bad game against Stanford, man. Syracuse should be 6-0, really. Louisville is 4-2. I've lost a lot of faith in them. Virginia, UVA is 4-2. Can you believe that?
Mm-hmm.
Georgia Tech is 5-2. Their schedule was rough, but the fact that they're 5-2 is pretty incredible. Duke is 5-1. BC is 4-2. Virginia Tech is 3-3.
Oh, that's what I thought you said earlier when I said 5-2. I thought you said Virginia Tech is 5-2. I'm like,
no, Virginia Tech is 3-3. Stanford is 2-4. Wake Forest is 2-4. Florida State is 1-5. California is 3-3. UNC is 3-4, and then NC State is 3-4. They haven't won a game in the conference. Who's winning this conference outright, and what 2 teams are going to play in the conference championship?
I think Clemson will win the conference outright. I think
Clemson does both.
Yeah, I think they do too.
Yeah, that's true. I see.
Who's behind Miami?
Miami right now, Pitt.
Yeah, I think Clemson will win this conference outright, and I think
the only
Miami
teams in the last 15 years, Jalen? Has it been 15 years that won ACC conference championships? Was Clemson, Florida State, and Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
Pittsburgh may be back, but we will be at Pitt on the 24th. I can't wait. We're going to actually go there a day early on Wednesday. They're giving us a lot of access. So we're going to probably go live from the field. It's going to be pretty cool. So we will be in Pitt.
Who they playing?
In a couple weeks, they're playing SMU.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to be at the Pitt SMU
that's not
game.
A couple. That's Nick.
That's 10 days away. It's 10 days away.
Yeah, that's next week.
Yeah, it's next week. So I'm super excited about that. So we both think Clemson will win outright. Would it be Clemson and Miami in the conference championship?
Yeah, or Clemson Pitt. One.
Okay. I think that's fair. So let's get down to our last conference, which is the Big 12. Big 12, for anybody who doesn't know, ACC has definitely probably showed us the most love out of any conference. Them and Con USA. Big 12 is showing us a lot of love as well. But Big 12 is probably my favorite conference of college football to watch, believe it or not. BYU 6-0. Iowa State is 6-0. They beat the West Virginia team. I thought it was going to get them a run for all their money. Texas Tech is 5-1. Arizona State is 5-1. We will see Arizona State this Saturday.
Are you surprised about Texas Tech?
I am.
Okay.
And guess what, though? Nino said something that was really profound. He said, KT, I think you were a year early on Texas Tech. Or was that you that said that? One of you guys said a year early on Texas Tech.
I don't think it was me. It had to be.
Okay. Because, I was high on them last year, and this year I wouldn't talk Texas Tech at all because I just didn't know what to expect. Arizona State 5-1. We'll see Arizona State in Cincinnati this weekend. Me, Moon, and Mike will be there. Kansas State 5-1. Colorado is 4-2. Cincy is 4-2. West Virginia 3-3. Arizona 3-3. UCF is 3-3. Houston is 2-4. Utah is 4-2. TCU is 3-3. Oklahoma State is 3-3. Baylor is 2-4. Kansas 1-5. Could you believe that? I had Arizona State as one of the worst teams in the conference. I'm proud to say that me and Jalen and Moon are all three credentialed members of the media for the Big 12. Remember when we had to do our list? Would you have BYU on your list? Where did I have Kansas on my list? I know I didn't have Kansas, below 6. But the fact that they're the worst team in the conference,
I think I had Iowa State at 6.
Did you have Iowa State at 6?
Yes.
I remember just coming into the season, we was like, if not now, then when for Matt Campbell. So I'm happy to see that. How far has Ollie Gordon dropped as far as prospects for the upcoming class? You know how the draft is, SC, like the draft, like things can flip quickly. And me and Jalen always like to go back to what was it supposed to be, the 2022 NFL draft, Jalen? Spencer Rattler was almost supposed to be a lock to be the first pick in that draft.
I had BYU at 13.
Yeah, BYU at 13, yeah. And it can happen quickly. Honestly, yeah, at the bottom, Ashton Genty is clearly RB1. And Genty has honestly brought the running back. I think we may see Genty go top 16, 17, Jalen?
I'm not drafting a running back top.
Yeah, not in the first round. He's going first round, though. I guarantee he goes first round.
Bijan Robinson was a terrible pick, by the way. I don't know why the Falcons did that, but shout out to the Falcons.
How are you feeling about the Big 12? I can honestly say, Jalen, if we go like 6 or 7 weeks from now, right? And BYU, Iowa State, Texas Tech, or Arizona State isn't leading the conference, it wouldn't surprise me.
Wait, you said who?
I BYU. Said right now, the people who are the teams that are leading the conference are BYU, Iowa State, Texas Tech, and Arizona State. But I said if we fast forward, 6 or 7 weeks, it wouldn't surprise me if one of those 4 teams weren't leading the conference at the time. I just think that's what the margin is in this conference. There's not a huge margin in between the great teams and the teams that are not so great. At least I don't see it that way. Who you have winning the conference outright, and who will win the championship?
See, I don't have nobody because the conference outright is kind of hard because
conference
has been up and down. It's like I had Texas Tech at like 8 or 9 in my rankings. I had BYU at 13.
For sure.
I had Iowa State at 7. Let me check real quick. At Iowa State at 6. I had them above Kansas, actually. Kansas
is the Big 12 the weakest conference in the Power 4?
Yeah. Well, the ACC might be the weakest, honestly.
That's a hard question for me to answer because I enjoy Big 12 football so much.
The top ACC teams are better than the top.
I would agree. I would agree with that.
But that's where like the rest of the Big 12 is far middle of the pack. Like outside of okay, because Iowa State I think is better than Pitt. I think BYU.
Yeah.
Pitt.
Yeah.
Like that's where it's like that's where it's like okay, the dominoes start to fall for ACC. It's like I might go AC. I mean, I might go Big 12 or ACC.
He said, agree. This season, I would say the Big 12 is. Who you got winning the conference? I still got Kansas State winning both outright, and I had them winning the conference championship.
Yeah, I
Even
think
if that meant they play BYU again.
You know what? I'm gonna be different. I'm gonna say Iowa State.
Iowa State. I love the Iowa State pick.
Yeah. I'm gonna say Iowa State wins outright, and I'm gonna say Kansas State wins the conference championship though.
I like it. Jalen, it's been a fun episode. It's been really interactive, man. Shout out to SC, shout out to Moon, shout out to D now, shout out to Brian Browning. We love when people are engaging in the chat. It makes it really easy for us. Brian, please come back on Thursday. I'm gonna make sure we throw a Boise State segment in there on Thursday, and we're gonna talk more Boise State ball.
Hey, Jalen. Brian, I will say Ashton Jesse should be out the front runner.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. If I'm not able to vote on that, but yeah, I would agree with that 100%. Jalen, with that now that we officially announced and launched College Basketball Nation, make sure you guys follow us on Twitter at the
He said what time
Nation.
On Thursday?
Huh?
He said what time on Thursday?
What time on Thursday? It'd be 6:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Every Monday and Thursday, 6:15 p.m. Make sure you're in here. We're gonna open up with Boise State, man, for you, bro. College basketball rankings drop. How you feeling about them? What you like? What you dislike?
I'm not mad really about anything besides Rutgers being above us.
Okay.
Rutgers really above us because they got two shiny toys, and that's
for sure
Harper and Ace Bailey.
Right.
Like that. That's the reason they're above us. I'm surprised he texted and don't get that much love. Honestly, I honestly wasn't expecting that.
Moon just made something very abundantly clear. I will be on the road on Thursday. I will be at Marshall on Thursday.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to see if I can get access. They're giving us access, so I'm going to see if I can go live from the stadium. So that'd be cool to have the stadium in the backdrop. I'll be in Huntington, West Virginia. We got Georgia State versus Marshall. We're cool with both programs. Both programs are friends of the network, so we're going to have to figure that out. But we're heading down there Wednesday night, so we should be able to go live.
Yeah.
At 6:15 p.m.
I wouldn't expect the Ole Miss to be in top 25. I'll be honest. They was one of my underrated teams. I wasn't expecting the APB to be really hip to them.
I can't wait. I can't wait for the Pac-12 to be back, bro. Brian, I'm so excited. Go ahead, Jalen. My bad.
Okay, you mean the WAC 12? I mean, it'd be back in basketball because they got Gonzaga. They actually got like
yeah. That's what Brian was just saying too.
Yeah. So, Florida, I feel like is underrated. Florida, I feel like better than Texas, Marquette, Indiana, Arkansas, Creighton. I don't think Creighton's all that good, but maybe I'm not hit the Creighton.
You think some of that is just the Big East love?
Some of that is because they made it to the Elite Eight last year.
Okay.
3-16, 1-2. Because they're usually a good, consistent team. I think the rankings are solid. Honestly, I like basketball rankings better than football rankings sometimes because I feel like football can be big team bias, like big program bias. Basketball can be too, but then it gets to a certain point where it's like they can't it's like, okay, nah, this team is overrated and this team is underrated and we're ranking this team and this team is above this team. I think when the second rankings drop or third, Dayton will be ranked. I don't know. I just feel like the basketball rankings might be a little. It's a lot less big program bias. I feel like even though it's big programs in the top 25, and of course all of it is like
I agree
group
with that.
Power 4, but I just feel like outside of Gonzaga,
I like that Jalen over Joel Lenardi.
Yeah. I just feel like it's a little better because if Alabama struggles against a low level team and Houston wins in a blowout win against a bogus team, Houston will probably jump Alabama. Alabama will drop, but the football people would be like, oh, we're going to keep Alabama number 2.
Yeah, I definitely like these opening top 25 versus the football one. And we're going to end the episode here. Shout out to everybody who make this thing possible. As I always like to say, there are no more victories in the sport that survive and advance. That's why college football has the greatest regular season. And until next time, y'all all take care. One.